This program provides education, not advice. Sponsors pay a fee for endorsements and interviews. See the truthayf.com disclosure page for details.
This is where technology, innovation, and personal finance come together.
This is the truth about your future with Rick Edelman.
Electricity, a big idea that's inspired countless new ones. From powering the light bulb to virtually powering our entire lives. 30 years ago, State Street launched the Spider S&P 500 ETF, SPY. A big idea that inspired the world to invest differently, and still does. What can you do with SPY?
Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit ssga.com for a prospectus containing this and other information. Read it carefully before investing. SPY is subject to risks similar to those of stocks. All ETFs are subject to risk, including possible loss of principal. Alps Distributors, Inc. Distributor.
It's Thursday, August 1st. On today's show, some shocking new statistics regarding caregiving. There are two new studies that have recently been released regarding caregiving. One of them came from AARP and S&P Global, another one from the National Alliance for Caregiving. The numbers are astonishing. 84% of those who are providing care to somebody say that caregiving had a moderate or high impact on their stress. 84%. 2/3 said they were having difficulty balancing work and their caregiving responsibilities. They talked about having to go into work early or stay late. 32% have taken a leave of absence from work. 27% reduced hours or moved from full-time to part-time work. And 16% turned down a promotion. And 75% of those who said that they're planning to quit their jobs within the next year said that caregiving was a reason, and half of them said it was the primary reason. And then there's the financial impact. On average, caregivers are spending more than $7,200 a year on their caregiving duties. This is money that is coming straight out of their pocket. There's no tax deduction for it, and I just put it to you. Would you be able to afford $600 a month in providing care to a family member on top of your existing expenses? $600 each and every month. We know that there was a study from the Federal Reserve a couple of years ago that said the average American household would not be able to pay $400 of an unexpected bill without going into debt. That was a one-time $400 bill. Now imagine a $600 recurring expense every month. That's more than most people's car payments. That's even more than some people's mortgages. And when I say it's $600 a month, I mean, yeah, a month. The average caregiver spends that money for 4.5 years. We are talking thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, while simultaneously they're reducing their income because they shift to part-time work or they turn down promotions or what have you. These numbers are sobering, and I'm afraid that I haven't told you the worst of it yet. 5.4 million caregivers are children under the age of 18. 70% of them are caring for a parent or a grandparent. 30% are caring for a sibling. We're talking about middle school kids, high school kids. They help with feeding, dressing, cooking, and cleaning for family members who have cancer, debilitating diseases, dementia, or who were in serious accidents, or victims of violence, or were injured in war. Many of these school kids are missing school. They feel isolated. They suffer ongoing sadness, anxiety, and they worry about the future. Imagine, they're juggling their homework with the need to give injections. These teenagers are often sharing their bedrooms with their parents or their siblings to help the patients get to the bathroom during the night. Just imagine the burden on these children. We clearly have a major crisis in this country when it comes to caregiving, and the statistics are showing that the situation is growing and getting worse. Coming up next on the show, a question that I got from one of our listeners.
Support for The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman is made possible by Invesco QQQ. A quarter of a century ago, Invesco QQQ reimagined how people invest by providing access to the most innovative companies on the NASDAQ 100, all in one ETF. With Invesco QQQ, investors saw all the possibilities that innovation could deliver. So what's on the horizon for the next 25 years? See for yourself. Tap into the companies remaking the future. Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. There are risks when investing in ETFs, including possible loss of money. ETF risks are similar to those of stocks. Investments in the tech sector are subject to greater risk and more volatility than more diversified investments. The NASDAQ 100 Index comprises the 100 largest non-financial companies on the NASDAQ. You can't invest directly into an index. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit Invesco.com for prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully before investing. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
Welcome back. The Truth About Your Future continues. Here's a question I got from Tim of Florida.
I wanted to get your opinion on when to take Social Security. With the Social Security crisis, would it be better to take now what I can get and invest that money?
Tim, it's such a simple, easy question. You'd be astonished and annoyed at how complex the answer is. I've done multi-hour seminars on this simple question: when should I start to take Social Security? I wish I could give you the full answer here, but it is mired in the muck of your age, your marital status, your spouse's age if you have a spouse, your total income from other sources, your life expectancy, meaning what's your health, how about your children, your children's ages, do you have children from a prior marriage, do you have any disabled children, and if so, what are their ages? The list goes on and on and on as to the factors that go into determining when should you begin to take Social Security. And I'll simply tell you this, that if you take Social Security at 62, which is the earliest age you can, you will receive an astonishing amount less than if you wait until you're 70, like 76% less, which is why we generally tell people do not take Social Security at 62, wait until you're 70. Then there's this other thing called file and suspend. You start at 62, and when you get to your so-called full retirement age, FRA, which is around age 66 nowadays, you then suspend your checks for 3 years, and that will boost your checks by 24%, 8% a year. File and suspend, have you ever even heard of that? This demonstrates the complexity of this. And then it gets even more complicated because we all know there's a Social Security crisis coming. And if Congress doesn't act by 2032 or thereabouts, all Social Security checks are going to get cut by 25% or thereabouts. So should you take the check now at 62 while it's at the higher amount so that when that haircut comes in 8 years from Congress, you won't lose out? Or should you wait? And if so, when do you wait till? Do you wait to age 66, full retirement age? Do you wait to 70? It's ridiculously complicated. I wish I could give you a specific answer, but I'm not your financial advisor. I don't have details on your personal financial circumstances, and therefore I can't answer your question to the degree that you wish I would. What I can only say to you is this: go to a financial advisor who is an expert in Social Security. Many financial advisors are, because Social Security is a really big deal. It's a very fundamental element of the advice that advisors provide their clients. You're asking the right question, and you need to get an advisor to give you the right answer for you. I hope that's enough, my friend, because that's all I got for you. You can send me your question as well. Just send it to askrick@thetruthayf.com. The link is in the show notes. On tomorrow's show, related to this, if you think dementia might be in your future, well, your problems will start long before you're ever diagnosed. I'll explain tomorrow. Plus, I'll share with you the latest trends and opportunities in estate planning. At my Wealth Management Convergence event this past March, I brought onto the stage Chris Morgan, Senior Vice President and Senior Portfolio Manager of the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company. Listen to this tomorrow for the latest developments in estate planning, including fade out of the lifetime exemption limit, the RMD age increase, special rules for surviving spouses, and the impact of the Corporate Transparency Act. I'm going to give you ideas tomorrow that you can easily implement right now. I'm glad you're with me here on The Truth About Your Future. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to follow and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. And remember, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I read them all. Never miss an episode of The Truth About Your Future. Follow and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. I'll see you tomorrow.
Increased awareness and actionable intelligence about the forces that are shaping our world.
This is The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman.